Hey guys, how you doing? This is Franklin coming to you from the Who's Right Mets podcast, and I'm excited to come to you today because we have some news. We have a new manager. His name is Carlos Mendoza, and at the end of the day, what emotions I have? One, I'm shocked, because we were expecting Craig Counsel. So I thought that was going to happen, and it's okay because at the end of the day, um, we don't know um, how Craig Counsel was going to be in New York. Being in New York is different. We think he was going to do great, but who knows? Carlos Mendoza. What do we know about Carlos Mendoza? Not much. Obviously, he came up the old school way, uh, scouting and coaching in the minors and stuff like that, and yeah, and has been the bench coach for the Yankees last few years, and so we don't know much, right? Yeah, he's coached around 30 games or so, or managed around 30 games or so with the Yankees. Um, But what does that say as him as a manager? It doesn't really say much, right? Because um, you know th- there's no pressure when you're coaching that few games and sporadically, right? So we don't know who Carlos Mendoza is. Obviously, he's highly respected, and he was being interviewed by other teams and potentially having other organizations hire him. So that gives me a little bit of ease and feeling that we may have hired the right guy. Um, but at the end of the day, we don't know. Obviously, he knows the New York media, so he knows what to expect. That doesn't mean he's going to know how to handle it, uh, but at the end of the day, he knows what to expect, which is just for me half the battle, right? Because he's been here, he's seen the wrong ways and right ways of handling stuff, and hopefully he knows how to handle it better than most. But at the end of the day, we don't know. So for me here to say if he's going to be the next big thing, the next Craig Counsel, can't do that. You never know with managers. For me to sit here and say he's going to be a total bust, also can't do that, right? Because we don't know. He could be the next Mickey Callaway. Who knows? Hope not. you know, I hope not. Because we're supposed to be turning the corner here with Stearns at the helm. So I hope not. I'm hoping that he's the next big thing and that he becomes the manager that we're hoping that he becomes. And so yeah, so I'm excited for it. Just because it's new blood, and obviously, you already know from my previous video how I felt about Buck. So I'm not gonna kind of harp on that again, but yeah, I'm totally excited and just want to you know just want him to do well. Um, that's as much as I can say about Carlos Mendoza. There's not much I can say because I don't know him. We haven't really seen him in action, and I don't follow the Yankees like that for me to know what he actually did in those games that he did manage when either Boone was suspended or kicked out of a game or whatever. So for me to kind of sit here and tell you who he is and how he manages, I can't tell you. So I'm just telling you that I trust in David Stearns, and so we're hoping that he hired the right guy. Um, as far as Craig Counsel, it's a mixed bag because, like, at the end of the day, we don't know if he could handle New York. You know, we don't know if he's the manager in New York that he was in Milwaukee because it's just different. It's just a different handling the media, handling this locker room. Um, it's just different here in New York. So I don't know how, I can't say the reason I'm disappointed is not because he didn't come here. It's just because that's what the whole talk was since what? August? We were talking about Counsel coming when we found out that Stearns was hired by the Mets. So we were talking about Counsel coming because he didn't have a new contract yet. So it's more of a disappointment, but only because of the expectations that I had, not because he didn't come here. Because the whole all talk was that he was coming. So that's really it. But to talk further about Counsel, he got paid over $8 million a year for 5 years, right? So that's what he wanted. I have it. I have a hard time believing that he was doing it to raise coaches' salaries. And here's why I say that. If you're looking out for your fellow coaches, how do you take another manager's job? Help me out. Hey, I'm not saying that Cancel can't get the most money. That's his prerogative. He could do whatever he wants. He can get paid the most, and by all means, please do so, right? But I'm having a hard time believing that he was doing it for his other coaches. I know because the word was out there that he was, just like he was as a player, trying to raise players' salary and stuff like that. I don't see that correlation in this case because how do you take another manager's job? Help me out. If you're looking out, hey, get paid all you want. That's up to you. That's your prerogative. And if that's the case, then he got paid. More power to him. I'm glad the Mets didn't give him $8 million. I don't think he was coming here anyways. But I'm glad he didn't give him. Didn't give $8 million because at the end of the day, we don't know. We think he's going to do well, but we don't know. So I don't want to sit here and say we lost out on the best manager because we don't know how he's going to handle New York. So, but I just have a hard time believing that he was looking out for the rest of the industry of all his other managers when you take another manager's job. That's in direct conflict of helping out your fellow managers. So again, he can get paid. His prerogative. Do it. But to kind of come here and say that you were doing it for other managers, I have a hard time believing that. But yeah, more power to you. Wish you well in Chicago. Not too well because you're in the National League and you're here with the Mets, right? But yeah, I wish you well as a manager. But yeah, so next thing I want to talk about is what the other part of what came out yesterday. Stearns was talking to media, and he said that he's not hiring a manager. A general manager. I'm sorry. And what are my thoughts on that? At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. All a general manager was going to do was help Stearns out in logistics and stuff like that, tasks, things of that nature. The general manager here was never going to make a decision because that's ultimately going to fall on Stearns. General manager here wasn't going to be the one making the trades. Again, that's on Stearns. So the fact that we're not, or the Mets are not hiring a general manager, who cares? Stearns knows how to do the job, and we trust in Stearns, right? So he's managing the ship, and let him take it. So what if we wait a year for a general manager? Who knows? He'll probably appoint somebody from within and raise them up to be the general manager next year. So yeah, I really don't care that he's not hiring a general manager. And yeah, that's all I need to say on that. There's not much to that. And then the other thing he was talking about, and obviously you saw the Boris comments and stuff like that, is that he sat down with Scott Boras on Pete and a possible extension. And so excited about that. I hope that Pete is a Met for life. But we do believe that that at least he'll be here for the next year, because he'll be the starting first baseman this year. But I would love it if we talk extension, serious extension talks this offseason. Because I would love to see Pete stay as a Met for life. Because he has an opportunity to set some home run records, and hopefully he does that as a Met. So yeah, I'm hoping that happens this offseason. And so that's pretty much the last main things that came out last few days, and I'm super excited to continue on this journey of this channel. The next episode, I'm hoping to have a couple more people on the show, talk about kind of dive a little deeper on the last few things that have been happening, but maybe from other perspectives. Not sure if I'll have one or both of my sons with me, or another person from the NL East, talking their perspective from their angle. So I'm hoping that happens in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. I'm really excited about that, and if you like what you've seen today and you agree or disagree, like this video, and subscribe to the page, hit that notification button, and let's talk about the things that were talked about today. How do you feel about it? How do you like the Carlos Mendoza hiring? Do you care about us hiring a general manager? Do you how do you feel about the Pete talks? Hopefully that happens, but how do you feel about that? Comment down below, and let me know how you're feeling. But yeah, looking forward to the next episode. And of course, guys, hey, let's go Mets. All right.